Hey guys, I don't know really how to start this video off and everything, but I don't really make a lot of controversial opinions, but I'm kind of just really tired of this mess that's been happening over the past few weeks, and I'm just tired of just sitting around and just kind of like hiding in the shadows, you know, because I'm a conservative and I support Trump, and you know, I have a lot of opinions that need to be said, but what's happening with the riots, Black Lives Matter, and everything, it's just a mess, because cops are getting targeted just because like they're cops and everything, even though you assume things and you think that every single cop is bad when you don't know that, when you just blame out racism and stuff. But then you realize that Black Lives Matter, the one that is supposedly the racists that I've seen, or the anti-racists they would say, is that they are going after white people and saying white people are the bad people, white people are the racists. And I'm like, but isn't slavery like from all over the world, and still is? You know, from like Asians own slaves, you know, like Mexicans own slaves. Even the own black people own slaves. That's that's how they get most of their slaves, from their own kind, their own people. You know, I would say I think it was like enemy tribes or anything like that, but still selling their own people. And I'm just like, this. It just shows that you guys haven't learned anything since Martin Luther King said that all blacks have the same rights and amendments and ratified into like the amendments that blacks, women, and men, like of all races, like I wouldn't say blacks, people in general, are all made equal under God. I don't really believe in God and everything. That's my own opinion. But I respect people from that. People should respect other people's opinions too, because that's what freedom of speech is. That's what freedom of speech has always been. I know this is probably not going to get a lot of traction. Hell, I'm just doing this because, you know, need to get a lot out of my system. I'm just more of a rant video, if I would say anything about what's happening. But I'm really tired of this. I'm really tired of this false narrative saying that blacks are still being targeted by everybody, especially white people, and then I see the really sadness of people that say they would bow down to these people. No one should bow down to anybody. That's just period. Nobody should bow down to anybody. The government, other people. It's just like you should only bow down to people that if you want to bow down to them, by all means. I don't care. But that doesn't solve anything. That doesn't solve anything at all. And then when I hear about, like, because I'm going to a rally this Saturday, tomorrow actually, and probably up before, if my channel is still up, I'll upload some videos and everything like that. Yeah, but they said that the coronavirus is gonna increase even more, even though most people wouldn't believe that, because the same experts say that the riots were okay. Like, as long as they protest, that's okay. That's when I just lost all hope with that shit, you know? When I hear like, oh, okay, well, you know, this might be bad. And I was like, oh, I kind of believed in a way. Still didn't believe, because I don't believe medical experts from past experiences. But this is just so crazy that they would do that against it. And even the mayor said emergency emergency, state emergency for it because of what's happening. It just makes me laugh of how stupid they think that we are. They think we're fucking morons. They think we don't have brains to really function at all. Like, even if there were, like, let's say in your opinion that there are racists. Let's say if there were white supremacists. Let's say if there were rapists or something like that. Like, well, rapists, what am I saying? Like, let's say, like, every single other controversy about, like, far right, you know, wanting to kill all blacks, you know, wanting to, like, dominate the world and everything is about them, sexist, all that kind of stuff, right? If they are not doing anything harmful physically, they shouldn't be charged with anything from that. If they haven't really, like, gone to done those things, physically done those things, just like if you say something like, I don't like this person at all, even if it was like, I don't like them because they're black, does that mean that they should be silenced? No. Freedom of speech doesn't have limits on anything. Freedom of speech, by basic of means, is you can speak how you want to speak and however you want to speak, as long as they're not like physical threats, like coming into your house, I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to go kill you, like actually like making a promise about doing those things. That's what I don't like. But when you have somebody that says, like, I don't think transgender should be in sports, like, for example, that shouldn't be that shouldn't be a thing. And then they keep saying about go back to topic, is that Black Lives Matter should be about that. It should stop racism. And I'm like, the only time when you can stop any kind of word, any kind of thing that you don't like, it's not by silencing it. It's by not caring about that shit. As long as it's not like, oh, I'm gonna fucking leech you, or leech, what do you ever call it? Lynch them. And you and if that's a thing that would happen, that's obviously illegal. Nobody should lynch somebody else and just like, oh, it's obviously illegal because you're physically hurting somebody. You know, that's the only time when I have problems with anything at all. But when you just see, when somebody speaks something that you don't like, even if it says the N-word or says any kind of other offensive word, people should be able to have the freedom to say those things and should not be silenced from those things, because that's just words. Like the old saying goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. I know it's kind of dark in here. If you see in my room, it's kind of dark. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Don't know how long I'm going to be talking about this, but I really need to get this out of my system. Because in general, like how I saw about, like, even if like I don't support like the Black Lives Matter, I don't support the riots, I don't support anything about like the thing, all the sexism and all the other kinds of racism stuff, because like unless it's like really like harming someone, individual, physically harming someone, that's the only time when I say no, because that's just still a human being. No matter if it's a racist problem, sexist problem, you're crazy enough to go after that person physically. Like however you think about it, you still shouldn't do that, regardless of race, sex, national origin, sexual orientation, whatever the fuck it is. But whenever somebody says, I don't like lesbians, I don't like gays, I don't like blacks or whites or Asians, like any of those kind of references, they should be able to say what they want to say. If they don't if they're not really harming anybody, then that's really not like should be silenced by any company or somebody that doesn't want them to speak in front of anybody. People themselves will decide not to speak to them. People themselves, individual mind, not a corporate entity, not the fucking government or the mayor or anything, decides what they should say and not say. The only time when anybody should like stand up is whenever you either are defending yourself physically, either you're defending your family, your property, like things that you own, and then your country, people that you admire and stuff like that. That's the only time when you defend them, regardless of what issue it might be. When you come to physical violence, it's the only time when I see you self-defense yourself, and that person got it coming towards them if they say that. But whenever I saw that police officers are getting charged for trying to do their job, saying that other police officers are getting killed on the job from doing their job, and then being disgraced and being dishonored, I've been with cops a good part of my life, about 1 or 2 years. It's in the Explorers program, and when I see about the Black Lives Matter going after these people, honestly, it's disgusting, because they could say shit all they want. I really don't care if somebody just fucking tells anybody what they want, but nobody should silence them from ever even heard to anybody else. If someone doesn't want to see it, they're going to block them, okay? They can do that, whatever. I don't care. They don't want to hear them, they don't want to talk to them, go right ahead. But no one should be banned from the site from speaking what they think. No one. And this is what I really truly think from growing up with cops for a good while. They're good, really nice people. Especially during the Dallas shooting, they were trying to protect us. They didn't want us to wear our gear one time, for a few weeks, because they knew that they were going to target after us. They do so much for so little that it's so disgusting when I see people wanting to just want them to end, wanted them to never come back, thinking that they'll defend themselves and everything. I'm good for defending ourselves, but not everybody's a goddamn cop. Not everybody is well trained for these situations at all. You're a goddamn idiot if you ever fucking think that you're trained enough to be able to do that. Maybe trained servicemen and all those other kinds of people. But for me, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that at all. Nobody wants cops to be gone forever at all, or have no more less resources. That's just damn stupid. Nobody wants that. And the people that do want it, they should be the one targeted. They should be the one talked about, should be questioned. Because I don't care if someone comes after me, my family. I don't care if someone literally charges everything against me. I could be a homeless son of a gun with no money in my pocket, and I still wouldn't change my mind. Because some people should think and should understand that even that you shouldn't let anybody change your mind. Only you should be able to really change your mind from those things. You should you can be convinced from those kind of things, and you have different opinions from that. But really, it's all up to you of your decisions of what you want to think. And that's what I think should everybody have, left or right, whatever. Anybody, period, should be allowed to speak. And when people obviously see injustice for themselves and other kinds of stuff, they'll judge it for themselves. They'll do it for themselves. And that's how I seek the world. That if anybody comes after me, like I said before, I would rather be dead in the ground to ever give up my rights or freedoms to anybody. At the very beginning of the Revolutionary War, American Revolutionary War, that they said I don't know who said it, but it's give me liberty or give me death. Because I'd rather choose death if I'm not going to be free. If I'm going to be free to choose what I want. Choose what I want to do. You know, as long as it's not physically hurting anybody, as long as it's not like physically threatening people, I should be allowed to do it. That's what I think that liberty stands for. That's what I think freedom stands for. And, you know, this kind of video got obviously off to differently from it is, but I hope you can understand this, and just wanted to share my little my little rant, as you would say. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.